hear me now? Team, can you please confirm if I'm audible? All right, I seem to be audible now. Yeah, all right, it's working fine. Sorry about that, all of you who were watching the live session. I think there was a bit of a technical error and I was on mute. So I'm just going to restart the live session, basically, right from the beginning. So yes, I'd like to welcome you all to another one of our live sessions. I'm Navya, one of the 5 licensed immigration advisors at AJB, and I'm here to connect with all of you lovely viewers out there who have taken the time out of their hectic schedules to watch the session today and to learn more about the kind of products and services that we do offer and to learn more about New Zealand, of course. So the topic for today's session is going to be the University of Waikato. But before I begin to speak about the university in detail, I would like to display my license. This has been issued to me by the Immigration Advisors Authority, and it basically enables me to provide immigration advice under supervision. So the rules of the session are pretty much simple, and they are as they have been thus far. I would request all of you who are watching the session to keep leaving their queries or comments or questions in the comments section, and I will be addressing them once I'm done speaking. For those of you who are working with us, I would like for you to mention that you are an AJV client so that I can always get back to my team and extract further information specific to your case. And for those of you who are not yet working with us, I would request you to please leave your contact details in the comments section so that once the live session is over, we can contact you and provide you with more detailed information and hopefully even end up working with you at the end of the call. So without further ado, I will begin now to talk about the University of Waikato. I'll start by sharing a little bit of a brief about its history. It was basically established in 1964, and the University of Waikato is one of the most renowned universities, in fact, in New Zealand. It has its primary campus in Hamilton and a relatively recent campus that was launched in Tauranga. It's located in New Zealand's North Island, basically, and it is ranked among the world's top 1% of universities. So those are some great, statistics. The university hosts about 2,000 international students from over 70 countries. So it has a wide diaspora as well. It's also known for its excellent research centers. It has about 7 research centers which are really dedicated to conducting, groundbreaking research across various fields such as environmental science or business and management. So that's just a brief about the university in itself. I will now go ahead and talk a little bit more about the few of the popular courses which the university offers. So, these are also courses that have been selected by a lot of our clients and they've had great outcomes. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is the Masters of Business and Management, which is basically a 1-year master's degree. This course basically gives you an in-depth understanding of the global business environment, and it makes you ready to take on a lot of leadership and managerial level roles, post completion of the course. So what's great about this program is that it's open to people from a wide variety of backgrounds. So if you've done a bachelor's of engineering, or even if you've done a bachelor's of arts, you're still likely to be eligible to pursue this course. It also does not require you to have previous business experience. So that way it's open to a wide variety of people from different backgrounds. So that's a great aspect of the course. You'll also have 11 papers, and you can study subjects such as digital business, marketing, global business, supply chain management, etc. This course is also offered at the Waikato Management School, which is it has a triple crown accreditation, and it is what has placed Waikato in the top 1% of business schools globally. So those are some great stats. Again, just goes to show the kind of quality of education that you would be receiving there. This course specifically, it focuses a lot on practical learning as well. you have something very interesting known as the action learning project, where you'll have a study group, and you'd be required to come up with your own business plan for an entrepreneurial startup business, and you'd also be required to pitch that business plan to actual senior corporate executives. So it really kind of allows you to get a feel of what it's like to be working in the real world, and mentally prepares you for that. In fact, recently our team, we attended a webinar that was conducted by Education New Zealand, and it had speakers from different universities of New Zealand. One of them was also Ashish Suri, who is the marketing manager of South Asia at the University of Waikato. So in the webinar, they shared some really interesting statistics with us. What they did tell us was that a majority of the Indian students prefer to go for generic business and management courses rather than the specialized courses. And not only because it opens up a wide range of career paths for them, but also because it allows for global exposure and opens up a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities. So the business and management courses, they're also very practical in nature, and therefore mold you to be more work ready. The focus of the webinar was also about how great a decision it is to go for a more generic business and management course, because it helped from the resident's perspective. So as some of you may be knowing or not knowing, the skilled migrant category residence visa, it has an immigration policy which requires you to have a relevant qualification to the job that has been offered to you. So it's very important that the qualification or the course that you've completed has relevancy to the job position that is being offered to you. So if you tend to, if you do end up going for a very niche course, that might limit the job opportunities that would be available to you in the future as well. So so basically their advice to us was that it is more prudent to go for a more general business or management course, and I think this course would really fit the bill from that perspective. This course does have July and November intake, so those of you who are keen to go to New Zealand and go for a business management course of a high level, then I would definitely advise you to consider this as an option. The next program that I would like to talk to you about is the Masters in Cybersecurity. So a majority of the companies these days are going online. So there's also an increasing need of people who are required, basically cybersecurity professionals who are needed to protect the networks and systems from digital attacks. And that's exactly what this course helps you to specialize in. An interesting fact that I was in fact reading up on was that the University of Maryland conducted a study where they found out that a hacker attack happens every 39 seconds. So that just goes to show how at-risk online systems or data can be at, and how the world really needs good cybersecurity professionals to prevent that from happening. So in this course, you'll basically be learning about the technical, legal, policy, and management aspects of cybersecurity. And you'll also be learning about cloud computing technologies and computer infrastructure as well. The University of Waikato, interestingly, is also home to to New Zealand's first cybersecurity lab. So, you do have some great student support facilities as well while you're completing this course. Intake for this is available in July. So those of you who are interested in this field, I would definitely recommend you to, look up this program online and read up more on it. So the last program that I will be talking to you about is another really popular program, which is a Masters of Digital Business. It's ranked #1 in New Zealand for being the best masters in e-business and digital marketing. It basically focuses on using technology from a management perspective. And while you're completing this course, you would be covering topics such as global marketing and social media, business intelligence, cloud computing, etc. And it's great for people who want to pursue a career as a tech-savvy manager. The course also has an opportunity for you to, undertake an internship where you would be expected to work on, real-world projects at an organization. So this really gives you that hands-on experience, which is, sought after by a lot of employers in New Zealand. So those are, some of the master's courses that are excellent in the quality of education that they would be giving to you. Of course, they are a little more intensive. So, you would need to have the aptitude and, more importantly, the right attitude, in order to successfully complete the course. What's also really great about pursuing a master's course is that once you've done this course, you would be eligible to avail a 3 years post-study work visa. So that does give you a substantial amount of time to look up for different job opportunities in your field. Moreover, if you're married while you're pursuing the course, you can always get your spouse along on a partnership-based work visa. So what that means is that they will be given work rights. So in case you have invested a lot of money into your education, that can quickly be earned back with the help of your partner. Of course, you will also have part-time work rights on your student visa. What's also great about going for a master's level course and bringing in your spouse on a work visa is that your children can also come and study in primary and secondary schools and on a domestic status. So what that means is that their fees would be practically negligible. You'd only be required to pay for some basic things like uniforms and course materials. So the future prospects of pursuing a master's level course and of course from University of Waikato are great, and especially great if you're considering to if you consider bringing your family along to New Zealand as well. So, talking about the location of the university, it's located in Hamilton, which is in the North Island. The location is really great because it's just a 1.5 hour drive away from Auckland. So, if at any point you do wish to relocate, or if you do end up finding a job in Auckland, it's not going to be such a difficult task. What's also great about Hamilton is that the AJV office is situated there. So, if you do go via us, then you will have all of our support available within the same city that you're residing in. So I think that's truly beneficial. Um, Also, the cost of living in Hamilton is definitely much less than Auckland. If you were to be renting a one-bedroom apartment, then the cost of living in, the cost of that rent could be about 700 New Zealand dollars cheaper in Hamilton versus Auckland. So that is a substantial amount. So yes, Hamilton is a great city. It's upcoming right now, so I would definitely request you to consider it. Another great aspect of finding a job ultimately in Hamilton would be that you would be eligible for 30 bonus points, for gaining a job outside of Auckland. So that's definitely something that you should keep in mind as well. So with that, I'm pretty much done talking about the University of Waikato. And I will now just go through some of the questions that have been posted. But before I do that, I will just see if my team has sent any messages. All right. Okay, O'Neill, who was one of our clients, has written, "Great, we can hear you now clearly." That's great, O'Neill. I sincerely apologize for the issue that was a technical glitch that always does happen, when you're on using social media apps. So anyways, it's good to know that everything's working fine now. Suresh has written, "Hi, I'm an AJV student handled by Miriam. I would like to know about spouse and kid visa after I apply for the student visa." Hi, Suresh. Thank you so much for choosing to work with us. It's great to know that you have chosen to work with our company, and we will be providing you with all kinds of support. Because we do have licensed immigration advisors in our team, including myself. We will be, we'll be able to handle the visa applications for your spouse and your children. So an important thing to note is that you do require a licensed immigration advisor to represent an application for your partnership application or your children's application as well. That's not something that can be done by any education agent. So of course, if you are already in touch with us, we will be providing you with further information about how to, the exact process on how to go about the, spouse and your kids visa as well. So don't worry about that. We'll stay in touch with you. It's best to start early, in fact. So, the fact that you've already informed us, that's great. We can start working with you on the documentation, etc., at the earliest. All right, so Suresh has sent a follow-up question. Before that, let me just see. I think Miriam has also. Okay, all right. So Suresh has written, "How long does it usually take for the dependent visa?" And one more question is, "Master's degree is 1.5 years. With this, will I be able to apply for PR? As for PR, minimum 2 years course should have been done." All right. Hi, Suresh. Thanks again for your follow-up question. So, the timeline for the dependent visa can vary. It was at some point 4 months, but then, the workload reduced drastically. So we were getting an outcome within a month and a few weeks as well. It also depends upon, how your visa application is filed. So we do believe in filing decision-ready applications so that, the immigration officer does not really need to spend a substantial amount of time, while assessing the application. Everything is practically, ready for them to see and assess, and they can immediately take a decision on the file. So it really kind of depends on the profile as well. So those are just some of the factors that one needs to take into consideration when gauging the amount of time that a dependent visa would be taking. Um, as for your second question, you do not need to pursue a 2 years master's course to apply for your residence. That is, basically the immigration policy states that to be eligible for a direct residency, you either need to complete a 2 years 2 years course which leads to a master's or a PhD, or you need to have an offer of skilled employment in place. So if you're pursuing a master's level course in New Zealand, it's highly likely that within a few months itself you'll be able to find an offer of skilled employment, which basically ticks one of those boxes, and there should be no issue in applying for a residence application. So not to worry about not to worry about that. Also, it's not PR. The first step to residency would be, you lodging a skilled migrant category residence application, and it's only after 2 years of being a resident that you can apply for your permanent residency. So I hope that clarifies your question. And if not, we can always speak one-on-one, post this live session, and I can clarify that further to you as well. All right, Vipin Das has left his number. Thanks, Vipin. Vipin is, I think, all right. I think, Vipin, you must be in touch with Miriam, or she is due to get in touch with you. And she will be suggesting some courses related to tourism and hospitality. So that's a great option. I mean, the hospitality industry is, of course, booming in New Zealand. It really relies upon hospitality and tourism, given that it's such a far-flung country. So it's a great spot for that. And I'm sure, our study advisor will be able to suggest you some great courses in that field. Amin has written, please be safe. Amin, thanks for that. I would request you to be safe as well, and all of our viewers as well. Of course, the times are difficult right now, but, it's best to follow your government's advice and stay at home and, follow all of the measures that they are requesting you to follow. All right, Vipin Das has then written that, hi, come under AJV student and reference from Miss Miriam. Thanks, Vipin, for choosing to work with us. And Miriam has just told me that she will be speaking with you right after the live session and suggesting you some courses for New Zealand. So just follow up with her on that. All right, we have a message from Kevin Roche, who is also one of our clients. Hi, Navya. I'm a July intaker working with Anne. With the current situation, I'm confused about serving 1 month notice period and when the borders will open. We are in lockdown 2 in UAE. Hi, Kevin. I know the situation is a little bit uncertain right now. We are not able to really take that call at this point of time. Of course, as you'd be aware, even New Zealand's borders are closed, which is why, a lot of people who were to go at this point are not able to travel. The only thing that I can suggest right now is to just, stay up to date on the news and just stay in touch with Anne. And, as time passes, we'll keep giving you that advice by and by as well. All right. Mariam Fati has written how to be an AJV student. Mariam, thanks for your question. I think, you've checked the first step of becoming an AJV student. The second step would be to leave your contact details over here in the comment section so that we can connect with you. And, we will then definitely give you our advice. And, it's not that difficult to become an AJV student at all. We are friendly, we are frank, we're open to talking to all clients, open to sharing advice. This is the reason that we do come, live as well to it's basically a transparent medium of communication with all of our clients and all of our prospective clients as well. So just go ahead and drop your number and we will definitely connect with you. All right, so Vipin has another question. My spouse needs to apply for a student visa for 2 years. Myself and 5-year-old child will be accompanying her. All right, so it's your spouse that will be going. Okay. My visa should be an open work visa and child should be having a dependent, yes, dependent, I guess you meant domestic status with free study opportunities. Would like to know how much will cost for the same university fee plus your charges. Kindly fix a call to raise few more concern. All right, Vipin, don't worry about that. We'll definitely, our team will connect with you and we'll let you know about, the charges and the university fee. It obviously depends on which university your spouse is going for and, which particular course as well. So don't worry about that. Miriam will definitely connect with you and, give you more details around all of those questions, basically. Vajid has written, hi Vajid, request you to also share your number, or just post your query and we'd be happy to answer the same. Let me see if my team has written anything. All right, so we have a question from Abu Yaha, who has not left his number. Abu, I would request you to please leave your number so that we can connect with you. But you've asked about the Masters in Engineering Management, so my advice to you would be that that's definitely a good course, especially for trained engineers, who have a work experience in handling turnkey projects. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but most of the engineering job positions are listed on the long-term skill shortage list, which basically means that engineers are in high demand in New Zealand. So it would definitely be a great option to consider. All right, there's a question from Suresh who says, does an 18-month master's degree in IT help for PR? Hi, Suresh. Thanks for your question. A master's. Okay, so firstly, the one thing that we keep reiterating during these live sessions is that there is residency and then there is PR. So the first step to becoming a resident in New Zealand would be lodging an application that leads to residency, such as a skilled migrant category residence application, which is what most of our clients are eligible for. So, pursuing a master's degree in IT is likely to help in your residence application, in the sense that it's likely to give you bonus points for completing a qualification in New Zealand. So, it really depends. If you were able to send in your CV, we'll be able to gauge how many points you have so far and how many you do need, additionally. But yeah, definitely pursuing a course in New Zealand is beneficial, because not only does it give you those local skills that are required by the employers in New Zealand, but it also allows you the time to kind of understand the job market in New Zealand and really kind of push your career in the right direction. So just leave your contact details and we'll definitely provide you with further information around that. Mithun has written, it would be great if you can upload a video about government benefits given to part-time employees in the current situation, because there are still students working at supermarkets just to pay bills. Employees haven't given any advice about it and they won't in coming days as well. Thanks, Mithun. Mithun is also one of our clients who traveled to New Zealand, I think sometime last year, and is working with us. So yes, we definitely do intend on posting more posts about the COVID-19 situation. They will be more detailed. We do have an AJV COVID-19 response group on Facebook that has been created recently. I would request you to also join that, okay, because we will be sharing more information about this over there. Apart from that, there has been a subsidy scheme, a wage subsidy scheme that has been introduced by the government of New Zealand to to basically help out the businesses and the employees who are affected by the COVID-19 situation. So the subsidy is, I think, about $585 per week for full-time employees, and $350 per week for a part-time employee. Though you would have to test your eligibility for this, because there are certain requirements that need to be met by the employers as well as the employees in order to claim this wage subsidy. So more information around this would be available online, but as per your request, we'll definitely work towards posting more videos and articles on this, to help you out. So not to worry about that. All right, then we have a question from Sidesh, who said, "Hi, I would like to know the option for work permit under skilled migrant category." Hi, Sidesh. Thank you so much for posting your query. So, the option that is available for a work permit under skilled migrant category is a skilled migrant category job search visa. But one of the requirements, one of the very important requirements, for you to meet in order to be eligible for such a visa is the 160 points criteria. And you can only meet those 160 points if you have a considerable amount of work experience, either under the long-term skill shortage list or in a comparable labor market, and if you have a master's qualification, and you also get some points depending upon your age or your spouse's qualification. So that assessment really needs to be done before I can give you any further advice on whether you'd be eligible or not. What you can do is you can send across your CV as well as your wife's CV to us at info@ajvglobal.com, and one of the licensed immigration advisors will do a preliminary assessment of your CVs and then let you know if you are even close to meeting the points criteria or not. All right, Suresh has written, "Thanks a lot for your response. We'll stay in touch." Thank you so much, Suresh. We hope to stay in touch with you too and answer all of your queries. Prashant Chauhan has written, "Immigration works from home now, or it's shut down for a 4 week, or as I heard in social media that immigration works for emergency only. I'm AGV client. Thank you." Hi, Prashant. Thanks a lot for your query. So as of now, at least the Mumbai High Commission has shut down, is temporarily closed. There are few people working within New Zealand, in the immigration department, but like you have mentioned in your comment, it's only for urgent cases. So they're not really attending to your regular visa applications. So that is the situation as of now. However, they are still accepting applications into the system. So that's quite reassuring. So those of you who are worried about lodging their applications, you should not be, if you have all of the documents in place. In fact, my recommendation to you would be to just go ahead and lodge your application, because by the time that Immigration New Zealand does start working, especially in the Mumbai High Commission, they will have a lot of applications to look at. So the earlier you lodge your application, the more likely it is to be picked out of the queue earlier, and you're likely to get an outcome on time as well. So that's the suggestion as of now. And yeah, just stay in touch with us, and I'm sure we can guide you personally as well. All right, we have another question from Gigi. Gigi, can you please leave your number as well, or your contact details, so that we can get in touch with you and talk to you in more detail. However, you have written that you passed your graduation in 2010. So is there any chance of student visa in New Zealand? Yeah, Gigi, of course there is. You do have a chance to study in New Zealand. New Zealand has its doors open to people of all ages, and irrespective of when they pass their graduation. We've sent clients who did their graduation in like the early 2000s as well, or even before that. So there's no restriction that ways. We would of course love to know if you've been employed since then, or if you've done any other qualifications since then. And I guess we can know that once we get in touch with you. If you do choose to share your contact details, we would love to get in touch with you and understand your profile, and provide you with further advice around that. So request you to do the same. Thank you. We do have a question on YouTube from Rohit Panchal about what is the future of graduate diploma in highway engineering. Thanks, Rohit, for your query. However, I would request you to leave your number as well, because we would really like to get in touch with you and then provide you with more detailed information. This is, simply a platform for us to briefly touch upon different topics. So there's no way that I'll be able to understand your profile fully or give you the right guidance. So I would request you to leave your number too before we can provide you with further information. So as of now, okay, there seems to be another question. Hi there, also an AGV client. This is Ron, also an AGV client here from UAE, working with Madhvi, aiming for July intake for my wife. When do you guys think Wintech University will respond for the application sent last month, knowing in these current situation that schools and universities are closed in New Zealand as well? Thanks and take care, you all. Hi, Ron. Yeah, so as of now, the situation is that the universities are not open to students coming in for studies. However, I think a lot of the institutes and universities are still assessing admission applications. Different institutes could have different policies, so we will have to check back on that. But just stay in touch with Madhvi, and I'm sure Madhvi will get that information for you. And all right, we do have a question from Kunal Yadav about all right, PG. He's talking about the PG diploma in IT security management from NMIT. Is it a good option for PR plus job? All right. Just a second. Yeah, Kunal, I would definitely request you to please share your contact details as well with us, before I can actually answer your question. It's important for us to also, get in touch with you post this. Of course, we are giving you a lot of free advice. We would also, in return, just like you to share your number so that post the session, we can answer you in more detail. And of course, once you share your number, I'll answer your question right away as well. So I would just request you to drop your number as well below. Okay, in the meantime, just to talk a little bit more about the COVID-19 situation, basically, of course, that has, deeply impacted countries world over. So, I'd just like to shed some light on how it's impacted New Zealand at the moment, and in particular, its impact on international students. So, as most of you would be aware, New Zealand is currently at level 4 of the New Zealand's 4-level COVID-19 alert system. So that basically means that it's mostly under lockdown, essentially, at least for 4 weeks. Only the essential services are likely to be open, like your supermarkets, dairies, and pharmacies. What this means for international students is also that most of the institutes and universities, or all of them, have closed their doors to students entering the premises and attending classes there. So a lot of them, however, have made provisions to give online classes, and so that the students can study remotely. So I guess classes are still ongoing, and it's not really caused a disruption in that sense. Of course, those of you, we are getting queries about students who are a little uncertain about what to do in the scenario, since they were undertaking part-time employment to support themselves. However, this is just a reminder that, as part of your student visa application, you were required to show living expenses of about $15,000 New Zealand dollars, and that has been put in as a requirement for by INZ, for such purposes, to ensure that you are able to take care of your daily needs, without having to engage in any kind of employment. So I would advise you to utilize those money from that $15,000 to support yourselves in the time being, in the event that you're not eligible for a wage subsidy. So yeah, apart from that, like I said, the Mumbai High Commission is closed temporarily. However, they continue to be accepting applications for lodgement. So there's no, there's no ban on that yet. We can continue to lodge applications for the July intake. We are all hopeful that the situation will improve in the coming month or so. So don't be completely disheartened. My advice to you would be to just carry on with how things are going and to carry on with your admission process because you don't have anything to lose. It's also okay to lodge your application. Like again, you don't have anything to lose as such. So the colleges and the universities are also being very accommodative. So people who weren't able to make it right now, they have given them deferred offers for the next intake. It's also quite possible that colleges and universities will come up with additional intakes during the course of the year to accommodate more students who weren't able to make it. So yeah, those are just some of the inputs there. And yes, that's the another thing is, of course, that that's a great part about working with a company like AJV in such a time of global crisis, because we've always been we've always adopted that online working model. We have been working from home since the time that the company started, so we are very used to this way of this style of working, and it's not really impacted us in any which way. So that's a great benefit then for you guys if you do choose to work with us. There are really no disruptions. We are working as normal. All right, then another update that I can give you guys is that INZ has basically advised that temporary visa holders whose visas are expiring before 1st April need to apply for a further visa online, and you will be issued interim visas. So please be mindful of that. In case your visa is expiring before 1st April, you should go ahead and lodge a further visa online, and you will be issued an interim visa. This is to ensure that you do not become unlawful. And those of you whose temporary visas are due to expire between 1st April and 9th July 2020, it's likely that you will have your visas extended till September, and you will be receiving a notification about that from Immigration New Zealand directly as well. All right, so if that is the end of the questions, I will be ending the session here then. And my concluding advice to all of you would be to stay safe, stay at home for the time being. However, don't be extremely paranoid. There's of course likely to be a little bit of disruption for the time being, but that doesn't mean that everything needs to come to a standstill, which is the policy that at least our company is following, which is why we continue to come for our live sessions and we continue to be positive about what is the coming days as well. So just stay in touch with us, and we'll be here to reassure you. And we have created a group specially for this as well, and we'll be posting more things about the COVID-19 situation there. So just stay updated there as well. So thanks a lot for attending the live session, and see you sometime next week. Thank you.